VB is nothing but Visual Basic. It is a network-enabled technology. If you want to write any programming language or if you want to develop any application, you must know the basic building block of programming language, that is nothing but the tokens. Why I use data type? In order to define what kind of variable I'm going to use in my program or in my function. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on C# and .NET technology. And I'm in second unit, and the unit name here is Introduction to Visual Basics. Anyway, I'm your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In my today's session, I'm going to deal with what is VB.NET. Along with that, I'm going to deal with VB.NET keywords, data types, and control statements. Anyway, before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the topic we already learned, that is C#.NET. In one single platform, I'm running different programming language. So here .NET is nothing but the framework. In one single framework, I can able to run different programming languages like C#, VB, and ASP.NET and ADO.NET. So here one single platform, but what I'm doing here, I'm running different programming language, that is C#, Visual Basic, Active Server Page, Active Data Object, and so on. Anyway, in my today's class, we are going to learn about VB. So what does VB stands for? That is Visual Basic. So VB is nothing but Visual Basic. It is a network-enabled technology. Along with that, it is very simple programming language, and it is example for high-level programming language, as well as it is object-oriented programming language, and it is introduced by the Microsoft in the year 2002. Now the question arises, if I want to run Visual Basic, which software I want to use? That is nothing but the Visual Studio, and you can go with any version. Now VB is nothing but the high-level object-oriented programming language. When I can able to tell any programming language is an object-oriented programming language, when any programming language supports the concepts like data abstraction, data encapsulation, polymorphism, as well as inheritance, then those kind of programming languages are called by the name object-oriented programming language. Now, see here, VB.NET programming language supports the primitive data types, all the primitive data types. What are the primitive data types? We know that is integer, float, string, character, long, boolean, and so on. Along with that, it also supports user-defined data type. In a sense, what? By using primitive data type, user can able to create their own data type, then it is called user-defined data type. Along with that, it also supports events. Then, if I consider Visual Basic, it is not case-sensitive programming language. So, what is VB? VB is nothing but a Visual Basic, and it is network-enabled technology. Now, if I want to study VB, what are the things I want to study? That is, I want to know about data types, I want to know about keywords, and so on. So dear student, please remember one thing, that if you want to write any programming language or if you want to develop any application, you must know the basic building block of programming language, that is nothing but the tokens. So in token, we have keywords, we have constants, we have variables, we have identifiers, we have data types, and we have operators. By using all these things, I can able to write the program. In that, the first one is keyword. So what is keyword? You have to remember one thing, that keywords are nothing but the reserved word. In the sense what? It's going to have specific meaning, and I'm not able to change the meaning of the keywords. So I'm not able to change the meaning of the keywords, and the meaning is known to the compiler. So a keyword is a reserved word with some special meaning that is known to the compiler, and we are not able to change the meaning of the keywords. So therefore, these keywords cannot be used to define the identifier or variables in VB.NET. Even we cannot able to use the keywords to define the class name or variable name or function name. Example, I can have the by ref. So I can have the catch, default, inherits, interface, while, do. Okay, so these are the some of the example for keywords. How to remember? Keywords are nothing but the reserved words, and it's going to have its own meaning that is known to the compiler. Now see here, I'm going to have the data type. See, if I want to write any programming language, what I required? I require data type. Without data type, I'm not able to write the program. Now, what is data type? Why I want data type? To know what kind of value I'm going to use in my program. For that, I require data type. In VB.NET, data type is used to define the type of the variable. Why I use data type? In order to define what kind of variable I'm going to use in my program or in my function. See the difference? Suppose if I want to define the variable, or if I want to define the data types, how I'm going to define? See here, I'll start with dim. Over, I'm going to start with the variable name as data type. See here, if I consider data type, I can have the integer, I can have the double, I can have the character. So there are so many data types. But how I'm going to use the data type? I'm going to use the data type with the variables or with my function. So see here, I'm going to use the data type with variable, and I'm going to use the keyword that is dim, and I'm going to write the variable name, and I want to use as it's a keyword, and I'm going to write the data type. Now here, variable name is nothing but the name given to the memory location. It defines the name of the variable that you can assign or to store some value. So what is variable? Variable is nothing but a name given to the memory location so that I can able to store some value. And what about data type? Data type represents what kind of value I'm going to assign. Some of the data types are, see here, Boolean, integer, decimal, double, and so on. If I consider other programming language, how the data type is? To define integer, I'm going to use int. But in VB, what I want to do? I want to write complete integer. Now, dear student, I'm going to have very important concept in Visual Basic, that is control statement. So what is control statement? Why I want control statement? See here, I want the control statement to control the flow of the execution. If I consider car, which is the controlling part of the car? That is nothing but the steering as well as your brake. Okay, fine. Similarly, if I consider programming language, if I want to control the flow of the program, then I must have the control statement in my program. In VB.NET, the control statements are the statements. It is just a statement that controls the execution. Execution in the sense what? Flow of the program, or it controls the execution of the program on the basis of specified condition. So I want to write the condition in order to control the execution of the program. See here, if I consider control statement, I have two possibility. One is true and one is false. One chance is going to get the true result and another chance is to get the false result. So it is useful for determining whether a condition is true or false. Some of the control statements are if, then statement. Start with the keyword if, then else statement, if then else if statement, select case statement. Anyway, let's discuss these control statements one by one. At the beginning, I'm going to have if then statement. It is similar to your C program if statement. If, write the condition. If the condition is true, what I'm going to have? I'm going to have the statements. So it is one-way branching. The if-then statement is a control statement that defines one or more condition. So that is capable to define one or more condition. And if the particular condition is true, it executes a piece of statement or piece of information. Let's see the general syntax here. See, I'm going to have the if keyword. Okay, then what I'm going to have? I'm going to have the condition. Then it's a keyword. So if condition then. If the condition is true, what I want to do? I must have block of statement or statement. See, I'm going to have the statement. After that, what I'm going to do? I'm going to close the if statement. So, it is end if. Okay, fine. Now, let us see the simple example here. So, module 1. So, what's my module 1? Okay, see, in VB, everything is treated as module. So, what is the name of the module? Module 1. Now, I'm going to define the variable, that is dim. Here, what is my variable name? That's nothing but the str. As, what's my data type here? String. And I'm going to assign Visual Basics. Then, it is my main function. So, it is subroutine, sub main function. If, see, I am just checking the condition. If str equal to Visual Basic, if str equal to Visual Basic, then what I want to do? I am going to print the result. So, to print the result in VB, once again we use console.writeLine and I'm just displaying the message, welcome to the VB, and this is my end of if statement. Okay. So this is the way I can able to use if statement in my program. Now I'm going to have if then else statement. It is similar to if the condition is true, I'm going to have the statement else. Okay, I'm going to have this statement. This is your C program if else statement. Okay, that is replaced as if then else statement. Okay, fine. Here I'm going to have two possibilities. One is true and another one is false. So the if then statement can execute single or multiple statement. So here, if the given condition is true in VB, I can able to execute single statement or multiple statement when the condition is true. But when the expression evaluates to false, it does nothing. If the condition is false, it does not do anything. So here I have the syntax, that is, if I'm going to have the condition, that's nothing but the Boolean expression, then I'm going to have the keyword. If the condition is true, what I'm going to do? I'm going to have set of statement, else optional statement. So if the condition is false, okay, what I want to do, that should be written in the else part. Now how I'm going to close the if else statement, that is end if. So I want to write end if. Now let me to consider simple example here. So what's my module name? That is if else statement, and I'm going to have the main function. Okay, fine. Now see here, I'm going to use the number. Okay, what it is? It's an integer. Okay, how I'm going to define the variable? That is dim, by using dim num as integer. Okay, fine. Now what I want to do, I want to enter the input from the keyboard. For that, I'm going to have the statement enter the number. So console.writeLine, enter the number. Now to read, which statement I'm going to use? That is console.readLine. To write, console.write or writeLine. To read, console.read or read line. Now see, I want to check the given number is even or odd. So what's my condition here? That is number mod 2. Okay, and if returns the value 0, well, then what it is? What I want to do? It is an even number. Else console.write, it is odd number. Then what about this one? It is just a comment line. Well, otherwise else statement is executed. In the sense what? If the red number is 3 divided by 2, so reminder 1, okay, the condition is false. So which statement is going to execute? That is, it is an odd number. Then what I want to do? I want to close the if statement. So it is end if. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to have my next statement, that is select case statement. It is similar to your switch statement in C program. When I use switch statement, when I want to select multiple options, that time I'll go with the switch statement. Here in VB, the select case statement, here it is select case statement, is a collection of multiple case statement. In the sense what? You're going to have multiple option and you're going to select one option at a time, which allows executing a single case statement from a list of statement. In the sense what? You're going to get list of statement, and in that you're going to select one statement at a time. So what is the syntax here? Select case, either variable or expression. Then I must have the case, it's a keyword, and I'm going to specify the value. If the case is true, if the case is selected, and what I'm going to do? I'm going to execute this statement. And I can have case value 2, statement 2, and I can go up to case n. Okay, in the default case, see here, what I want to do? Case else. Over case else is nothing but the default statement. If I consider C program, how I'm going to write? Switch. Okay, I'm going to have the expression. Start with the flower bracket. Then case, it's my label. For example, say 1, okay, colon, and I'm going to have this set of statement. Then what I will do? I'll break. Okay, fine. Then case 2, case 3, up to case n. Okay, then I'm going to have the default option. Okay, then I'm going to close. So this is the C programming switch statement syntax, and this is your VB program. That is select case. That's nothing but the case statement syntax. Now, let me to discuss very simple program here. Usually, what is my first statement? That is imports system. So, what is system here? It's a namespace. Then module select case. So, what's my module name? Then nothing but the select case. And when I create the module, what I want to do? I want to close the module. Over. Then after that, I'm going to have the main function. When I start the main function, at the end, what I want to do? I want to close the main function. And I'm defining the local variable. So, which is my local variable here? That's nothing but the days. If I consider week, how many days we have? There are 7 days. Now, I want to check, is it Monday, is it Tuesday, and so on. For that, what I will do? I'm going to use the select case statement. So, here, days is nothing but the string. And by default, what is my day? That's nothing but the Thursday. Okay, in my select case, see here, what's my expression? That's nothing but the days. Okay, fine. In case, it is my string, right? So, I'm going to write within the double quote. So, if the case is mon, M-O-N, then it is Monday. Suppose if the case is tu, then it is Tuesday. If the case is wed, then it is Wednesday. If the case is Thursday, so it is Thursday, right? So I'm going to get the output today is Thursday. Over. Then what I want to do? I want to end the select statement. Then I'm going to end the main function and I'm going to end the module. This is the way I can able to write the program in VB.NET. Now, dear student, in my next session, I'm going to deal with looping. Anyway, in my today's session, I started with what is VB.NET and some of the important concepts like keywords, data types and control statements. Anyway, in my next session, I'm going to deal with looping, and looping also very important in VB.NET. Anyway, dear students, let's meet in the next session with the new concept, that is VB looping concept. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.